Well, it's straight liquor, so it's supposed
Of course.
to be.
It is supposed to be. Supposed to be.
Supposed to be.
Today's episode is brought to you by Johnny Walker. I'm just
I
fucking
got
with
a
y'all.
fucking
But
bottle of
not
that shit.
officially. But not officially, Johnny Walker. We are still not brought to you by Essential
Nobody.
Water. Yep, they are still not our sponsor, but
We're working on it.
we're speaking it into existence.
Free water, free Johnny.
Yeah, that's all we need. So welcome everybody to Shoot Your Shot Podcast. It's episode 27. I think we're finally back on track as far as that is concerned. We do, I think, still need to delete that other episode, or do we delete it? Nope.
I totally forgot that you talking about that 10-second video.
Yeah.
You gotta delete that. I totally forgot.
Episode 25. Yeah, we need to delete that. So we will do that soon. For any confusion, King Vic, what up? Appreciate you again coming
Vic
through last week.
Oh, that's true.
We will have you again maybe in a couple more weeks to make sure you're not on suicide watch after that Giants game on Sunday. But we talking week 1 of the NFL. Y'all seem to enjoy the NFL talk, so that's what we're bringing you, more NFL talk. Plus, there's not really much else to talk about other than Joe's Mets apparently cheating or something I hear about, but we won't get into that.
We don't cheat, bro.
Those bastards.
I don't know where you get that information from.
It was on ESPN, man.
If we cheat, we doing it wrong because we losing. How the fuck you cheat and lose?
Those bastards.
Yeah, we ain't doing something right if we cheating and still losing. Now we need Carlos Beltran, man. He knows what he's doing.
How many fumbles did Daniel Jones have on Sunday?
I don't even know.
That should be a running gag that we have every Thursday. We should predict the over under on Daniel Jones fumbles and interceptions for the week.
That's hilarious.
No,
I'm always pick over 2, bro.
Oh, it was only one. He said one. It was a momentum crusher. I didn't watch the game, but I saw some of your posts, so I knew you weren't having a good time. I know you had some high hopes for what was the new name that we gave him? It wasn't Danny Dimes. It was Danny something else.
Fumbles, right? Danny turnovers.
Yeah. Whatever it was, it's not Danny Dimes. We'll get into it, but. So like I said, all of us here. It's Tuesday, it's 6:00. So we're going to talk week 1 football. First, we're each going to talk for a little second about our respective favorite teams. What's good. I'm going to let the dude who had the highest of expectations go first. We'll go with Vic.
No. You go first. The Bengals definitely deserve to go first.
Well, I didn't want to take that, but if you don't throw it to me, I will take it.
You deserve it.
The Bengals sneaked out a victory against the Vikings 27-24 in overtime. And I can say, hold on. What's the suggestion? What's your suggestion? See what he got to say. He tell you, he's already talking Giants. I don't know. I don't know if we even need to hear this, but I'll keep it going with the Bengals. I think, I'm wearing orange for Vic peeped it. Y'all seen me with the orange. It's almost about to be fall, my favorite time of year too. So and orange is my color. But
for the Knicks.
And Knicks, Bengals.
All the above.
Mets.
Exactly.
Mets.
Yeah, go Mets. Make a Discord so we can take callers. That's actually not a bad idea. We should do something like that. Maybe that's something we'll think about for the future, because that would be dope.
We working on that.
That's a good idea.
Why don't you do that for us then? your suggestion. Why don't you do it for us? We'll talk. See, no, I'll be on later.
So, yeah. I will say this. Other than Eli Apple, who would have not been starting had it not been for our injury to our number one corner, Trey Waynes. Other than Eli Apple, the defense had a great game. Had a ton of sacks. The D-line played great. Secondary shut down. One didn't shut down, but played really well against two of the better receivers in the league. Offense started off slow, but overall we played a really good game. I think the biggest takeaway I have from this game is our coach, our third year coach. He coaching too inconsistent. He started the game off being real conservative. Then when he finally opened it up, that's when Jamar Chase got involved. That's when Joe Burrow started looking like Joe Burrow. T. Higgins got involved. Joe Mixon, got off a couple big runs, and that's when we scored points. But then, Burrow took, an awkward hit, and then it seems like he kind of shut it down and went back to the conservative play again. And that's until he goes for, I think it was like a 4th and 1 on like our own 30 for some reason, and we didn't make it. And that's when Minnesota made that comeback and forced the overtime. So I think the biggest question mark for us right now is still the pass blocking. Run blocking, we were great. Joe Mixon had a great game. I think like 120-something yards and a touchdown. But the pass blocking and our coaching, he needs to decide what kind of team we're going to be, and coach a certain way, because you can't. I feel like he was letting the Vikings dictate how he was coaching, and that we won't survive too many weeks if he continues to do that. But overall, I'm pleased. I actually, like I was telling Joe earlier, I didn't realize how bad I guess the Vikings were last year. I guess most of it due to injury, but they're supposed to be a top tier defense. And Dalvin Cook is supposed to be, a top 10 running back, and we pretty much shut him down. And his turnover is what kind of cost him the game. So overall, I'm pleased. Like I told y'all, I'm not getting too hype over it. It's week 1. I'm glad for the win, but we still got a lot to work on.
All right.
What would you grade him for week 1?
C+.
That's harsh. That's harsh.
That's fair. At least he's honest.
Nah, man.
Nah, if you would have saw
A, man, like you can't do that. You have to appreciate when a team goes out there and do good. They played the whole game. They didn't turn the ball over one time. Joe Mixon had 127 yards. Burrow had 261, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. He only missed 7 pass attempts. Like,
I know.
All right, so you have to, and the defense, although they got off to a slow start, they locked down when they needed to. You have to give these guys more credit than that.
I'm giving the team and the players a ton of credit. The biggest scare for me is the coaching. The coaching is where I'm taking most of that.
That's still low. Like I could see a B+ or a B, but a C, like a C-, like that's harsh.
No, I said C+. I said C+.
That's borderline fail right there. Like they could have lost and got a C+. Like, nah, man. You look at a team. What was your record last year? 4-12.
6 and something.
6 and 10. What was the record the year before? Like, you guys are like always in the lottery. Like, when was the last time you opened the season with a victory? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, I'm not a Bengals fan in any way, shape, or form. But I have to give them nothing lower than an A-.
Well, I'm glad that you feel that way. I just know that we got a lot of work to do, and like I
But
said, there
that's
was
not what
times
he's
where
asking. He's asking right now that one game. He's not asking for the season like that one game.
Just week one's
Yeah,
performance.
just week one's performance. Yeah, they put up an A minus at least.
hey,
Like
I,
that one game, they did what they were supposed to do. They, even though it wasn't pretty, they fought out a win. They didn't fold under pressure. They didn't turn the ball over. Burrow had a great game. Mixon had a great game. Like what more do you want? Especially against a team where how many people had y'all winning this game besides you?
we,
Yeah, besides you. So they
hey,
put
we got the
out.
post too. We could go to that. We should have pinned that post. That Vic, you posted it right with everybody's picks.
Yeah, I'm gonna tally it up. I'm gonna do all of that after the show, and I'm gonna put everyone's win and loss record for week one.
Yeah,
All right,
so
cool.
so if you look at the polls, like nobody really had the Bengals winning that game. So
So
I
if we're talking strictly just based off of week one,
week one, that one game, yeah.
expectations of going forward, not not counting, then yeah, I completely agree with you. I'm just going with my grade is more so of how that projects towards week two, week three, in the future. But if we're talking about forget the future right now, yeah. What do you say? A minus. I won't argue. I will not argue that. I just think it. Like I said, I just think our coaching needs to get better. Or
I agree.
like I
Now
said, be one or the other. You can't mix it up and let the other team dictate what kind of coaching what kind of coach you're going to be.
we had 8 people make predictions this week, other than us three. We had 8 people make predictions, right? 7 of them picked the Vikings. Only one person picked the Bengals.
Other than me,
Yeah,
who?
John.
Well, shout outs to John.
John is the only one that picked the Bengals to win. So out of 8 people, only one person thought the Bengals was going to win. So
Hey, I'll take it.
yeah, you have to. I have to give them somewhere in the A range. If it's not, I mean, I would love to give them an A plus or whatever, something like that. Because, like I said, you look at history and how bad this team is usually, has usually plays, and they don't never win game one, and so it's like, and you beat a team that people most people got them contending for that division,
Yeah.
so yeah, I have to give them that.
Well, I won't give spoilers away, but they were going to be mentioned again for me a little later in the show. I'll say that. So, but yeah, like I said, I agree with you. I'm not going to fight you on any of that. I just, I'm a Bengals and a Knicks fan. The seasons are long, man. You get too high or too low early, and you can set
I
yourself up
feel
for
you
failure.
there. I agree, but the man said one game.
Week one.
And
Week
and how
one.
and I'm gonna ask y'all opinions if you even notice thoughts on the New Jerseys.
I didn't really pay attention to that.
It's
So
not complete. It's not huge difference. There's subtle differences, but I'm a fan of the New Jerseys.
I mean, I'm a fan of switching things up. No matter what, I always feel, jerseys always need an upgrade. You always need to change things. I wish the Jets can do something different than what they do, but
Yeah,
you
because y'all
gotta.
got one of the best color schemes in the league, and I feel like you don't never do it justice with your jerseys.
What, green
Yeah,
and
That
white?
like that green, I love
well,
that green, man.
I like the green and black more than the green and white.
Yeah,
But the
yeah, I'm all for
green,
that.
it's not a bad thing,
Yeah.
So,
Well,
but
speaking of gang green, why don't you go off and tell us a little bit what you think about the Jets? How'd they look?
they started off slow. They which I expected is this man's first game, his first career game. So he started off slow. I expected that, and It took him a long time to shake off some jitters, but by the time he shook it off, we was in a hole that we couldn't climb out of. So you can't go nowhere but up from here. He didn't play bad. If you look at the end numbers, everything was good. He finished with 2 touchdowns, 1 interception. But you got to play better. You got to play better. I think the defense did what they were supposed to do. They didn't let the Panthers go crazy. But the fact that Wilson didn't have the weapons, Crowder was missing. Hopefully he's back for week 2, and that'll help him. But I mean, you can't ask for nothing more than what Wilson gave you with what he got. I always say that the issue with the Jets is they don't have weapons. They don't have nothing around them. They keep switching quarterbacks, and what good is switching your quarterback if you don't have nothing to help them? So that's the way it goes. And that's how it's gonna be until you're able to put weapons around these guys, So, again, I didn't expect much. I did predict a victory. I wanted a victory, but it was kind of more of a moral thing. I just didn't want Darnold to beat us in game 1, seeing that that's who we got rid of.
Right.
So, I just didn't want that to happen. But, it's all good. Again, I didn't expect much. I don't expect much this season. So I'm just looking. I'm looking for more of a balance. Like, okay, you have this quarterback. You see what he could do. Let's keep him. Let's roll with him. Let's put trust and faith in him, and work on getting better around him. Because it makes no sense. Yeah, it makes no sense to deal with this guy for 2 years and then want to get rid of him for another quarterback if you ain't got the proper pieces around him. I do think they need a run game. It helps, and without a run game, they're not going to get much, So that's just the way it's going to be. And until they establish somewhat of a running game, they're going to have problems. They're going to have problems, especially if you don't have an elite wide receiver. You got, your number 1 receiver is pretty much a number 2 on just about every team out there. So, they really don't have much going for themselves. But stepping stones. Overall, I'm not mad. And I see if this is how he looked in his first game, I'm pretty sure by week 5 he'll look a whole lot better.
Yeah, it's all about time, especially with the young guys. I think that's the biggest thing. You got to give this kid some time. With young quarterbacks, sometimes it takes them. It's like big men in the NBA. Sometimes it takes them a minute to really, get the swing of things. It's not always just going to be, instant success. I don't think they gave one dude, what's dude's name that they replaced? Who you just said?
Darnold.
I don't think they gave him enough of a chance. So you got to give this man time.
They didn't give him a chance, and they didn't give him nothing to work with. Like,
we had this talk before.
I said he was gonna have a better season in Carolina now that he's there, but they didn't give him nothing to work with. Like, what you expect them to, what you expect to happen? Everybody, I'm done with Cam. Like, stop mentioning Cam. Like, this shit remind me of the Colin Kaepernick situation. Like, I'm not wasting time with Cam Newton.
What do you grade the Jets for week 1?
I would give them a C minus.
That's fair. That's fair.
Again, you look at the expectations. You're not expecting much. I expected a low scoring game, in the 15, 17 point range.
That's smooth.
You know,
Real
so
smooth.
I knew it wasn't going to be a blowout. I knew Wilson wasn't going to go out there and throw for 4 touchdowns and all this, that, and the third. So, you know, everything was expected. The only thing was I didn't think it was going to take this long for him to get going. You know, so I'm happy with the defense. Like I said, they were able to maintain and shut the Panthers down. I believe they only scored 4 points and 3 points in the second half or something like that. So yeah, they scored 3 points in the second half. They didn't, so the defense did their job. It's just you got to get this offense rolling.
So we've had this talk before. Like you can keep changing the car, but if it's the same driver, it's kind of pointless.
Pointless.
Makes no sense.
Makes no sense.
So me and you both wasn't shocked at how well Sam Darnold actually played. I know I wasn't shocked.
No. I called it before the season started. I say he's gonna have a way better,
good season.
Yeah, he's gonna have a way better season. It wouldn't surprise me if especially touchdown to interception ratio is 2.5, 3 to 1, something like that. Like nothing would surprise me with this team now. With the team that he has, he has a legit running back. He has decent weapons as far as wide receiver. He has Anderson and everything. So it's like nothing surprises me that he does in Carolina. So, with the weapons he got in Carolina, I expect him to play a whole lot better.
I totally agree. He looked poised, like he looked comfortable.
Yeah, definitely.
He didn't look comfortable. Like he just didn't look comfortable.
Yeah, and that's what it is. You play different when you have those weapons around you. When you have the comfort of handing the ball, it's not like he has a regular running back like Christian McCaffrey is a running back / receiver. So worst case scenario, he can pass the ball to him as well. That's another weapon in the passing attack. So, he has 3 times more the weapons now than he's ever had with the Jets. So I expected him to go out there and play better. He didn't turn the ball over. So it's like, I expected it. Yo.
It sucks because I think he's a talented quarterback, and it sucks that you guys basically traded him for another quarterback, and unfortunately, the quarterback is still in the same position that Sam Darnold was in. So it's like it really made no sense.
No, and I honestly didn't want to trade him. I said what we should do is get pieces. And we'll get into one of the pieces I wanted later on in the show. But I said keep Darnold and just build something around him. Get something around him. And when I said this is who they should draft, I got burned for it. Everybody, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. So I just want to say, I think if we would have got him instead of drafting Wilson, we would have probably did a lot better.
No, I agree. I'm rooting for him. I'm rooting for all the young quarterbacks.
Yeah.
How I'm trying to look and see.
Yeah.
It looks like my boy that came over from Cincinnati didn't have a big impact on the game. So
who's that?
Carl Lawson.
Okay.
On the defensive end? The defensive side?
Yeah, he's a linebacker.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
won.
Yeah. Unless who's Shaq Lawson? No, that ain't him.
So
you gave him a C- overall?
Yeah, I give him a C minus.
That's fair.
You know, they got room to improve, and the one thing I can say is Wilson is a fighter. You know, he's a fighter. He's not. You know, he looks like he's just gonna keep fighting. Like he's not gonna fold under the New York pressure. You know, he's gonna try his best to make something happen. You know, so that's the one thing I do give him. I give him that.
And last but not least, how you feeling about them Niners, Vic?
You guys really want my honest opinion? Can I give my grade and then I can explain?
You do it how you want to do it.
I give my 49ers from week 1. What I saw, I give them a D minus, and I'm gonna tell you why I give them a D minus. I don't like Kyle Shanahan as the coach. Number one, for some reason, he doesn't trust Jimmy. Why? I have no idea. That's number one. Number two, I don't like the defensive coordinator that we have replace Saleh, the Jets head coach. Our defensive coordinator is now DeMeco Ryans. I don't know if you guys remember DeMeco Ryans, former linebacker, I believe, for the Texans.
Right. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, I remember him.
And his game plan against the Lions, I did not like it at all. On top of that, we lost Mostert. He's gone for 8 weeks.
He's gone for the season.
Well, what I read, it was 8 weeks, so I don't know. Verrett, our number one cornerback, is gone for the season.
He said it was season-ending knee surgery.
Oh, was it? Well, Mostert is gone. Our number one cornerback is gone. So 2 key players is gone. I didn't like the way our front defensive line looked. We barely got any pressure at all. Our linebacking core didn't look great at all. I wasn't impressed. We was up 38-10. We won 41-33. And I blame that on Kyle Shanahan. He took his foot off the pedal. This is the NFL. To me, you gotta coach like Bill Belichick, because it's any given Sunday. You don't know what can happen. Look what ended up happening. We almost went into overtime, 41-33. We almost went into overtime. That makes no sense. This is what happens. You play conservative, and a team can just keep nicking. And guess what? The score can end up being 41-33, and the opposing team has the drive that can send this game into overtime.
Look what happened last night.
Exactly.
It's the same thing that happened with us. It's literally the same thing.
Jimmy G looked good. He looked great to me. I don't know if you guys was watching. He looked great to me.
He looked great.
So
yeah, that's why when I seen that the other dude had the touchdown throw, I was like, wait, what?
That was another thing. Why you experimenting this game plan with Jimmy G? You run 2 plays, Trey Lance, we're gonna put you in for another play, and Jimmy G, you do another 2 plays, and Trey Lance, we're gonna do a read option. No, sit Trey Lance down, let him learn from the sideline.
You're gonna fuck around and get him hurt.
Now, yeah. If Jimmy G gets hurt, knock on wood, hopefully he doesn't, then you bring Trey Lance in. But this back and forth, me personally, I don't like it. Jimmy G is either your quarterback or he's not. Simple as that. So my assessment, I wasn't impressed at all. Besides the offensive line is fantastic. The run game is fantastic because of the scheme that we run. It's so many schemes that we run that it's kind of hard to stop the running game with that offensive line. But overall, no, I'm giving my team a D minus. And like I said, we got no pressure. And then Kyle Shanahan said that D Ford wasn't on a snap count, but he only played a few snaps. And then when you put D Ford out there, guess what happened? We got pressure. And then you took him right back out the game. It make no sense. What was that?
He said, looks like he wants to move past him.
I believe that. I totally believe that. But Jimmy G played great. Debo Samuel looked fantastic. Kittle looked great.
I don't know why he wants to move past him.
I don't either.
I don't know.
It's like he lost faith in him since the Super Bowl.
But if you look at that, like, that wasn't all Jimmy's fault. Like,
no.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It also could be an ego thing with that coach. Again, we talked about he got that genius label real early.
He wants to be innovative with, offense, which I get. But you got to figure it out. It's either Jimmy G or it's Trey Lance. It's one or the other.
And right now, we'll roll with Jimmy G.
I would roll with Jimmy G too.
I would roll with Jimmy G.
From me watching my team, it's like Cal Shanahan don't trust him for whatever reason.
The only time I would probably put Lance in is like goal line, red zone, because it gives you more options. Like if you're trying to run an option to where you don't know if it's going to be a pass or a run, or you can have both of them in the game at the same time. To be honest, when you get to that, 5 yards, 6
like
yards,
a pistol type formation.
Right. So that way, Jimmy G get the snap. He can hand the ball off to Lance. Lance could throw it. Like you don't know what's gonna happen. So to keep the defense confused and on their toes, yeah, that's when I would probably use Lance, kind of like a Tebow thing, from years ago. But other than that, like yeah, you can, sit down, watch, learn from the back, and learn how this works and build your strength. Because, like I said, you don't want to get Lance hurt, and then Garoppolo down the line get hurt, and then you're stuck with nothing.
Stuck with Cam.
Yeah, like I wouldn't do that.
So here's one thing that I will say, because I just saw something on the stat line, something that I didn't know. Y'all have Mohamed Sanu on your team.
We do have Mohamed Sanu.
So I will say this from someone who watched the best years of Mohamed Sanu in Cincinnati. He might be setting something up for the future, because I don't know if y'all know this, Mohamed Sanu used to be a quarterback, and he actually has a couple of touchdown throws in the NFL. I think at one point he was literally 4 for 4 with 4 touchdowns for us. Like that was his quarterback stat. He might be setting some stuff up, some trick plays, something that, he's not showing too much of. And right now he's using the rookie. Maybe later on he'll use a combination of all 3 of them. You never know. He might be setting something up. That's the only thing that I could think of, right now.
This is when overthinking can hurt you.
I agree.
You're over-strategizing. To me, this is my team, so this is my personal opinion. Another thing, you barely played Brandon Ayuk, our second best wide receiver. He was on special teams. Why is he not lined up in the slot? I don't know. Like me personally, I wasn't impressed. I'm glad we won, but I wasn't impressed. Nick Bosa, I know he's coming off that injury. He did nothing. He did nothing the entire game. I think he got pressure maybe once, if that. So yeah, I just wasn't impressed overall. I'm giving my team a D+. I forget what we played week 2, but I just wasn't impressed at all.
Week 2, y'all have the Eagles. Week 2.
So I mean, I think that's a win, but we'll make those picks later on.
Yeah. We'll Joe, y'all got the Patriots, and my Bengals have the Bears next week, but we'll get into that. So we're gonna recap week 1 for you guys. We're gonna go game to game. We'll spend a little more time on some games than others, and then go over what our predictions were. First game of the year, we all 3 picked the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win the game. I think we all said it was going to be a overwhelming margin. Good thing we didn't predict scores, or we're not holding scores predictions against us, because we've all been very wrong. The Bucks did win, but it was a close game. What are y'all thoughts on that game?
Dallas actually should have won. I thought Dallas, they played well enough to win. They just left too much time on the clock.
When are these teams going to learn?
They just left too much time on the clock.
When are these teams going to learn?
I don't know. You got to leave this man 10 seconds, and you still never know.
And I would only leave him 10 seconds if he has no timeouts and the whole field to go through. But if he needs 20 yards, 30 yards to kick a field goal, 10 seconds is still too much time for him.
And ladies and gentlemen, this guy is 44.
I mean, I don't really like that. Doesn't really bother me because the way the NFL is now. When was the last time Tom Brady got hit and you was like, damn?
Doesn't
When was the
happen
last time
often.
anybody got hit in the NFL and you was like, damn?
Right.
Doesn't happen often.
So it doesn't happen as often as it used to. So that's preserving him. When you could go 7, 8 years without getting hit, like, yeah, this shit is easy. It becomes easy. But you gotta stop giving this guy time, man. Like, stop giving him time. Like, they gave him over 1 minute and 30 seconds. Like, that's too much time. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna do what he has to do and then drain the clock so that way you don't have no time now. And these teams just haven't learned. They haven't learned that. Like,
they may not never learn.
You get the ball, you close to the goal line, you close to the field goal range, burn out the clock. Burn out the clock, score, burn out the clock, and then let him do what he got to do with nothing. Like, I don't know, man, but I mean, it was a great game. I did feel like Dallas had it at one point, but it doesn't surprise me that Dallas lost. Like, it doesn't surprise me. You know, it just doesn't. This is what Dallas do.
Yeah. I watched most of the game, and like I told y'all, I think in the group chat, that Tampa defense didn't look so great. They really didn't.
At all.
They were getting exploited on the outside, and Dallas was taking advantage of it. They looked even worse when old boy broke his arm, which was pretty bad. That was pretty bad. Tampa, that defense didn't look great. That D line didn't look great. Dak looked amazing. His receivers started off a little. What's the dude's name? CD, or he started off a little slow, but they got everybody involved, and they came up short, but that game could have went either way. Again, we all three of us had the Bucks to win, so we all got a W on that one. So we all started off strong. Second game we'll talk about real quick. We don't got to spend much time. The Jaguars and the Texans. Joe, I don't know why you picked Jacksonville to win, but you did. Me and Vic had Houston, and Houston ended up winning 37-21.
Thoughts on Trevor? He didn't look bad. I will say that. He didn't look bad.
What the Texans got, man. That's why I didn't pick them to win. Like, I knew Watson wasn't playing. Like, they don't have much of nothing. So
Brandon Cooks.
It was a game where either team could have won, and nobody really would care who won.
Would bat an eye?
Yeah, like who nobody really cares who win between these two teams. It's like
exactly.
But it's all good. Like, it's all good. I picked Jacksonville because I figured, they would come out there and play a little better for Trevor. But he another one that started off slow. He started off slow.
Heated up.
And by the time he was able to shake off them jitters, they were in a hole. It was over.
Too late.
It was too late.
Well, we're going to keep it moving because, like you said, nobody really cares about this game. So we're not going to spend too much.
I am happy for Tyrod Taylor, though. I'm glad he looked good. So I am happy for him.
I heard they announced old buddy's replacing him already.
I mean, I don't know what's going on in Houston. If Tyrod Taylor,
someone replacing him?
They did name Taylor as their starter.
Yeah,
but they didn't say nothing about what they was gonna do with Watson. So what's going on with that? You still got to pay him. So I would say, hurry up and get it over with and trade him.
Maybe.
Why not play him? Is it because of bad publicity? Is why they're not playing him?
He don't want to play for them.
Oh, he doesn't want to play.
That seems to be what the. I mean, he wants to trade. He wants out. I don't know. Like I said, this is going to be something we talk about all year. Deshaun Watson. I called it last episode. We're going to be talking about it all year until something shakes. But so the next game we got the Chargers and the Washington football team.
It was a good game.
All three of us picked the Chargers to win, and the Chargers did win 20-16. Herbert didn't have a huge game, but he did enough. What did y'all think of this game? Did you catch any of it?
Not much, but he did what they did what they were supposed to do to win.
For once, they was the team that came from behind and won instead of the opposite, like all last season.
Washington just don't have nothing now. Fitzpatrick got hurt.
Out for the season.
Out for the season. Heineke is their starter.
Heineken gonna be the starter, and I don't know. Robert
Maybe.
Griffin had made an announcement that they should hit him up and think about bringing him back.
Bringing who?
Robert Griffin III, RG3.
Nah, if they're gonna do that, they might as well bring in Cam.
Yeah, you might as well get Cam.
I got 30, 40 yards in my arm.
Washington was one of the teams that I said what might end up with a flyer on Cam, right?
You did. That was one of the teams.
I mean, you never know.
But we said it depends on the injuries.
Yeah. So next up, we got Seattle and the Colts. We all picked Seattle to win. Seattle did win 28-16. I know wasn't that Tyler Lockett or whatever his name is, Lockett? He went off.
Lockett?
Yeah, Tyler Lockett went off. Wilson had a good game. I didn't catch much of it except for what they kept going to. Did y'all catch any of it?
Oh, I saw pieces. I saw pieces of the game. The coaches didn't look good at all, defense and offense. They just looked out of sync. And I'm surprised on the defensive end because that's what they've been solid at the last few years is that defense. And Wilson just picked them apart. Tyler Lockett just destroyed that backfield along with Carson. Carson ate them up.
So next up, we got Joe's Jets against the Panthers, as we talked about already. Me and Joe had the Jets winning. Vic, you had Carolina winning. Carolina won 19-14, so a pretty close game. I don't think any of us expected that to be a blowout, though. Joe, you got anything more you want to add about this game that we didn't talk about earlier?
Nah, let's move on. Let's put this shit in the rearview mirror.
Okay, fair enough. Next up, that brings to my squad, Minnesota and Cincinnati. Joe and Vic, you both had the Vikings winning. I had the Bengals. And as I stated before, we win in overtime, 27-24. I also didn't mention how close it was to being a tie. It was very close. And,
5 seconds away.
Kind of would have been expected, right? The Bengals way.
Honestly, I if that would have happened, I would have just been like, I would have just laughed. Like, you know what?
It's not a low.
What it is. I think we have like 3 of the last 4 ties in the NFL, like something ridiculous like that. Like since they started this rule.
Yeah, with
we had one last season.
Tie with Pittsburgh.
We had one last season, and we've had a couple of the past couple of seasons. I don't know how many it's been, but it's more than I would ever like. But yeah, another thing I forgot to mention, I got to shout out that rookie kicker we got. The only kicker drafted in the NFL this season, a kid from Florida, McPherson, I think his name is.
Yeah.
I mean, he kicked his first NFL field goal was 50 yards, and he hit it like he had room to spare. So shout out to him. He played a good game. Not only that, but the game winner. I mean, it was like a 30-yard field goal, but still, those have been missed. So shout out to him. The next game, which was a big surprise for all of us, because we all had Tennessee winning. on Tennessee versus the Cardinals, and Tennessee ended up getting mollywopped. I called it. Tannehill's not the guy. His wife is harder than he is. The dude just don't got it. I don't understand what the obsession is with this guy. You can't say he doesn't have help now because he's got 2 elite wide receivers. I mean, I don't even have to say anything else. Yeah, I'll let y'all go. You know, he got the running game. He got it all, and he can't get it done against the Cardinals.
How is that? How is this loss his fault?
Who, Tannehill?
Yeah, that defense got chewed up. Like Kyler Murray threw for 4 touchdowns. They ran for like the defense got destroyed. Like it was a battle of defenses, and Arizona has a better defense, and their defense came to play, and Tennessee's defense didn't. Tennessee defense stayed at home. They played video games. They didn't come to play, and that was the end of it. Like I can't really blame this loss on Tannehill. Like Henry had a shitty game. You know, it wasn't just Tannehill. Like look at the whole lineup. Like that Arizona defense kept them in check, and the Tennessee defense got destroyed. So that's what it was.
I put it on Tannehill because that's what we do in the NFL. You judge a team on the quarterback. That's why we talk about their wins, losses.
See,
you're supposed to score the points. With all that help, you got to find a way. That's all. You got to find a way.
If the defense is too tough, like it don't matter who you got. If the defense is good, you're not scoring. You're not doing nothing.
But this is what separates Tannehill from being an elite quarterback to just an average quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
As an elite quarterback, you're gonna figure it out. All right, my run game's not working. I gotta figure. It's on me now. He wasn't able to do that. Granted, Julio has some drops. AJ has some drops. I get that. You still got to keep chucking it and figuring it out. As an elite quarterback, he's not there.
Is Tannehill a mobile quarterback?
Yes.
He can. So he's a runner.
He can if he has to.
I don't see him as a runner. I seen him. He can pass while he's on the move.
He can scramble.
I don't see him as much of a scrambler.
Because he's a pocket passer.
He's a pocket passer.
But if it breaks down, he can scramble.
Right. But his scrambling is more to give receivers time to get open as opposed to getting first downs and trying to do things with his legs. That's not his type of game. And we all know the Tennessee offense starts with Henry.
What's Henry?
And Henry got off to a horrible start. His first 10 rushes didn't even give him 15 yards.
Horrible start and finish.
So he had a horrible game. They all played horrible because of that defense. That defense was all over. How many sacks did the Arizona have?
I know Chandler had 5 by himself.
Chandler had 5 by himself. So he had 5 sacks by himself. They had 6.5 altogether. 6 altogether.
Six
Chandler had
sacks.
5 and someone else had another sack.
And Michael Dogby, whatever his name is, had the other sack. So they had 6 sacks total as a team. Defense was all over them.
I'm gonna give this loss 50% Ryan Tannehill and the other 50% on the coaching because the play calling was very suspect.
I mean, listen, man, Tannehill can do but so much. I'm not saying he doesn't deserve some of the blame, but as far as putting all this on him, like I can't really do that. Nobody got open. Yeah, he got 2 elite receivers, but like you said, Julio had a couple of drops. He's not the Julio of years ago.
Let me piggyback. Let me throw y'all a question right quick. Sorry to sidetrack. Is Julio really elite anymore?
That's what I'm saying. Like, he's a great 2 now, next to A.J. Brown. But you have to understand that A.J. is the number 1. And I think that's what they have to establish. Is Julio mentally there to be the two? Because sometimes ego and everything makes you take steps back and make you not want to do this. Like, is Julio's state of mind at the right spot where he understands, all right, I'm not who I used to be. Let me do this and let me do that, as opposed to trying to burn 30, 40 yards downfield and catch an open pass. You're not doing that no more. You know what I'm saying? You think about this. Tannehill was sacked 6 times, right?
Yeah.
That may not happen if Julio 7 yards cut, 8 yards cut, 10 yards cut, as opposed to keep trying to go deep. You getting sacked because you got both the receivers trying to go deep, and you don't have time for that. So one of them, and I feel it should be Julio, because I think A.J. Brown is starting to get there to the elite receiver status. So I think Julio should be the one to say, you know what? I'm going 7 yards and I'm cutting. I'm going 8 yards and I'm cutting. I'm check downing. I'm going to the first down marker. Hit me. That's it. All this trying to go 15, 20, 25 yards. Them days are over, bro. It's over.
That's the thing, though, and my Atlanta people are going to kill me about this, but Julio Jones has never been a great route runner. He's physically gifted more than he is, the mental aspect or sharpening his craft. He was always just the, all right, I'm a outrun, out jump, out body, the corner. He was never a super talented route runner. So that I mean, how many years he been in this league? That's a tough adjustment that I agree he has to make, because he's not going to be able to outrun and outbody these dudes anymore, because he's a step slower now. Especially most of his injuries have been foot injuries, ankle injuries.
Yeah. So this is why I'm saying you gotta listen. You gotta learn how to borrow a page from Tom Brady's book. Check down, man. 5 yards, 7 yards, 8 yards. Like, it used to. I remember being a teenager playing football on the streets, and it would piss me off that it's first down, and I go they hype me the ball, and all 3 of my receivers are running to the touchdown. And I'm like, bro, it's first down. Like, what are y'all doing?
They must be playing Madden.
Nah, man. Like, yo, so and you got it's not a big field. So we got 2 first down markers. Once you pass them first down markers, you can't get another first down. So let's utilize them shits, dude.
I agree. Definitely agree.
Like, yo, 7 yards, stop. 8 yards, come in, cut. Like, you got 3 dudes just running straight to the touchdown. And I'm standing there looking at them like, I'm not throwing the fucking ball.
Come on, Vic.
Like, what are you doing?
Come on, Vic. Do a curl pattern or something. Don't just do it straight.
Come on, man. Like, I'm not throwing the ball to y'all. And they looking at me like, yo, I'm open. Like, you ain't open. By the time I throw the fucking ball, it's going to stay in the air 5 seconds. And that gives the defense time to catch up.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I'm not gonna lie. I was a dude. I was always the big dude. I was in the slot. I was playing tight end. I'm making them slants and them short, them button hooks, all that shit.
That's what opens up the defense, because now the defense don't know what to do.
I don't blame you then. Let the big man score a touchdown.
Like, do something. Like, it doesn't make sense to have you just all running straight to the touchdown. That's not gonna help me. So
y'all doing Hail Marys on first down? Okay.
On first down, Hail Marys. We're not playing on no clock, no time. I just don't get it, man. So,
Tennessee
I give
Tennessee got a big battle ahead of them. Next week, Tennessee goes against Seattle, so they're gonna have to step it up.
Yeah,
they're gonna have to step it up.
I give some of the blame to Tannehill, but I can't give them all. Everybody deserves something. Julio deserves some blame. Henry deserves some blame. That defense got torched. Murray had 4 touchdowns throwing and 1 running. Like, he made it look easy.
AJ Green looked like shit. I had to throw that out there, but continue.
They didn't need him
at all, but he just doesn't look in sync at all.
He's another one. I mean, last year last year was the first year he made it through a season not being injured.
Not being hurt.
And we didn't play him that much, but he's another one. A lot of his injuries were his foot, his toe, all lower body, and once that's gone on a receiver, and AJ Green is a completely different kind of receiver than Julio Jones was. AJ Green was a great route runner. He had elusiveness. He wasn't just biting everybody, not the strongest, not the fastest, but when when you lose that step, it's big for a receiver. So next up, got the 49ers. We talked about them already. We all picked the 49ers, so we were all right. Vic, you got anything more you want to add to that game?
No. I mean, Debo looked great. Kittle looked fantastic. The O-line looked fantastic. Kel Shanahan could go fuck himself. So that's really about it.
All right. So the next up, we got the Steelers and the Bills. Joe and myself picked Buffalo. Vic picked the Steelers. Vic, you ended up being correct. Somehow the Steelers beat Buffalo, who a lot of us have picked to go very far this year. Steelers won 23-16. I won't watch a Steelers game if they're not playing the Bengals, so I didn't see any of this game. What y'all think of this?
I wasn't shocked at all. This is a top-tier defense, and all Ben got to do is manage. The running game really wasn't great. Najee Harris didn't look great his first game. He didn't look bad. Ben didn't look great once again, but that defense looks top-tier. They just gave TJ a whole load of money, and guess what TJ did week 1? Showed them why. So I wasn't surprised at all. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the division. Buffalo didn't look great. Josh Allen didn't look great at all. The run game, Devin Singletary looked great towards the end on a few snaps. Not overall, he didn't look good, but I mean, I wasn't surprised. That defense is legit, man. They didn't lose nobody from last year. I think they lost one linebacker. I forget his name, but they didn't lose no one. They gained. Joe, you said you don't trust Pittsburgh. They went out there and beat, what we can say, maybe Buffalo is maybe top 2 team in the AFC, top 3, top 2, right?
Top 2 in the league, honestly.
KC 1, Buffalo 2,
maybe. Well, they would have to show me more in the playoffs before I give them 2.
And they made Josh Allen look regular.
I mean, I don't know. Week 1 is always like this, and I think we just get so hyped and caught up on what happened last season to where we don't know. Some teams need a little boost to get going, and it's all good. I have them bouncing back big time.
Oh yeah,
I don't see. It did shock me that they lost. I just didn't think Pittsburgh had enough on offense to compete. I know their defense is legit, but I had Buffalo winning 17-10, somewhere around there. I just didn't think Pittsburgh had enough to
It was
score.
actually the defense because they blocked the punt for a touchdown. So the defense.
Yeah. So, if you take that away, then we go into overtime and let the best team win. But I don't know. That defense did have Allen in check the whole game. And, again, this is another team that everything starts with the running game. And once they were able to slow that run game down and force 51 attempts. 51 attempts from Josh Allen.
That's a lot.
For like 200 and something yards, right?
Yeah, for only 270. So that's a lot of throwing
for nothing.
For nothing, Even his completions, he completed 30 of them for only 270. So you're not even getting 10 yards per catch. You're only getting somewhere around eight and a half. So I don't know. That defense had that. It started with the run game. They had the run game in check. They did what they were supposed to do. But I still got Buffalo. I got Buffalo bouncing back and still winning that division with ease because it's the AFC East. Nobody's going to play good there.
And I also feel, sorry to sidetrack once again, but I also feel like Mike Tomlin don't get enough credit as a head coach.
I respect him, but you know what it is
trash.
Like,
Excuse me?
I wouldn't say he's trash. I just think Pittsburgh is just the same every year.
Every year. Defense, run the ball.
Every year.
Defense, run the ball.
Like, you don't see them going anywhere. Like
trash.
He should have 3 to 4 Super Bowls in his pocket already.
No, he shouldn't.
And the fact that he doesn't,
it's expected.
Like
this guy's a hater.
You're damn right.
I don't know, man. They need to do something. They need to hype it up. They too blue collar. They not exciting at all. And I don't think it's gonna last long. I don't think the defense is exciting. They tough. They strong. They tough. They there to do a job. They're not there to look exciting and pretty. And they know that. Ben Roethlisberger, like you said, he's just there to manage.
Trash.
We don't need 2-3 touchdowns from you anymore. We don't need 300 and 400 yards no more.
He couldn't do it if he wanted. If they needed it, he couldn't do that.
But that's what I'm saying. They don't really care. They like, you know what? Just go out there. As long as you don't turn the ball over, we good. You give us 1 touchdown, maybe 2, and we good. And we got it from there. But if they keep holding teams to 15, 16 points a game, yeah, they're going to be a force to be reckoned with. But I don't think they're going to be able to keep that up all year.
All right, so let's keep it moving. Next up, it was Atlanta and the Eagles, Battle of the Birds. We all picked Atlanta, and Atlanta did not show up.
I don't know what the fuck we were thinking.
Matt Ryan, I must have been because, I don't know what I was thinking. And I feel like I picked Atlanta confidently, too.
So did I.
I don't know what the fuck we were
So we were all wrong about that. I watched some of that game. Matt Ryan is just
might be time to move on from him.
Yeah, I think it's time to move on.
What you got?
Kyle Pitts, Calvin Ridley.
You don't really have much of a running game yet.
Nah, but that's Matt Ryan hasn't looked good for a few years now. Let's be honest. We kept
quarterback.
No, I mean I only know because I'm here and it's all over the radio, all over everywhere. The Falcons talk because they are a pretty popular team here.
I think that Super Bowl loss fucked him up, man.
Fucked him up.
Ever since then,
he's never been right.
He ain't been the same.
That shit fucked him up mentally, bro.
They kept using injuries as an excuse as to why this team is so bad for the past 2-3 years. They healthy now. He's just not it.
Yeah,
he's not it. So yeah, I think it's going to be a long year for Atlanta. They might want to just tank it and get that number 1 pick and use it on whatever quarterbacks next up or something.
I mean, I don't know, because I don't honestly always feel like that's the route, because you don't know what you're gonna get. You know,
You got to start somewhere though.
You don't know what you're gonna get. You don't know who's gonna be out there. Like, I don't know. And then all right, so they tank. Do you go after a quarterback?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got to.
It depends on who's on the board, honestly.
Everybody on the board if you're number 1.
It depends.
No,
Kittle played.
Kittle
played.
Yeah.
Kittle had a solid game.
So next up, we have y'all's Cleveland Browns versus the Kansas City Chiefs. You both picked Cleveland for some reason to win this game. I did not. I was right. You all were wrong.
They won morally. They had a moral victory.
You don't trust Cleveland when it matters. You just don't.
Yes.
You don't.
I wouldn't say that.
They had a moral victory.
I mean, you don't bet against KC when it matters.
You could go either way. I'll give you either, but Cleveland always chokes when it comes time to win the big game. They always do. Show me a big game that they've won in the past 20 years.
I mean, they haven't had any real chances. Like,
yeah,
exactly.
Good for 2 to 3 years. Like,
exactly.
I'm not worried about them.
Yeah, like.
Yeah, I'm not either, but I think we mean it in different ways.
Man, like, come on, man.
I'm not worried about them. They lost to the Chiefs, the best team in the NFL.
I'm not worried about them either.
I think a few points. I think the fumble killed them.
That was it, and then the punt right after.
And then it wasn't even a block punt. It was a bad snap.
It was,
he still could have got the punt off.
And that was it. That was the momentum turner.
But also the interception. You take the sack. It's only first down. It's first down. It's over a minute. You got a timeout left. You take that sack. You don't force that. You don't force that throw.
Shut up.
And that's really what killed them.
I don't think he was trying to throw it. I think he was trying to throw it away, and as he was throwing it, he got hit, and he ended up throwing a duck.
You take the sack, bro. It's first down. It's first down. It's first down. You got 3 more downs to go. You got over a minute left. It was like a minute 17.
Yeah. I'm not worried about them.
Timeout. Like,
you know what the best thing about the Browns season is going to be? Y'all ready for this? This is my hot take. The best thing about the Browns season is Baker Mayfield's commercials, because I'm not going to lie, he got a couple really funny ones. That's going to be the highlight of the year.
Where he pretend he lives at the stadium.
Yeah, that's the one I'm talking about. When he's gossiping with the old ladies, man, I was cracking up, man. I was cracking up.
His girlfriend forgets shit, and she keep making him go back
and
forth.
Yeah.
Gotta go through security and all that shit. You know?
Those commercials are going to be the highlight of the Browns season right there. So let's keep it moving. We got Green Bay getting fucking spanked by the Saints. I don't think any of us saw that coming because we all picked Green Bay. What went wrong for the Packers?
I picked Green Bay, but I wasn't surprised at the outcome. That Saints defense is still a top 5 defense. When does Aaron Rodgers play great against a top 5 defense?
I've seen Aaron Rodgers chew up good defenses. I just think.
I think he's mentally over in Green Bay.
Over Green Bay? So you think
he's mentally checked out, man.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah.
Look at his haircut. He looked like he want to be a rock star. Look like he want to be smoking weed on the weekends.
He probably already do.
Let me ask you a couple of questions. When was the last time Aaron Rodgers played the game and didn't have one touchdown?
I couldn't even try to remember when
I
that's
want to
happened.
say it was 2019 against my 49ers when we completely destroyed them. I don't think he threw a touchdown.
All right.
I could be wrong, but I don't think he threw a touchdown.
When was the last time Aaron Rodgers threw more interceptions than touchdowns?
Never.
Probably the same game, honestly. But we got to stat check that one.
All right.
All I know is Winston was eating them W's.
He was eating them crab legs. Let's go, Jameis.
Hey, I'm happy for him. I think he gets a bad rap,
man. But that defense looked.
I mean,
fantastic.
yeah. I listen. I'm gonna say it like this. I respect what Jameis Winston is going through. And
he's replacing a legend.
Yeah, he's replacing a legend, and he's grown. He's not a childish kid anymore. So you can see it in him that he's grown and he's taking this a lot more serious. So I respect it. I do wish him, success in New Orleans right now.
He deserves better than being a backup.
Who, Aaron Rodgers?
No, Jameis Winston.
To the GOAT? To Tom Brady?
To Joe Montana?
Yeah,
Joe Montana coming back?
He's back in the flesh.
Not in the Skechers commercial, or not Skechers? Is it Skechers?
Nah, he did the sketches and he was doing the shows, I believe. I'll take 2, man.
All right, so we're going to keep it moving. Next, we have the Giants in Denver. Me and Joe stupidly picked the Giants. Maybe it's because Vic was there. We were feeling sentimental or something. Vic, you picked Denver. The Giants lost 13-27. I don't think Daniel Jones is who we thought he was. What more can we really say about that game? If we say too much, Vic might go jump off a roof. So all the stuff he was worried about is exactly what happened. So, Barkley did not have a good game. But he was limited.
I don't think he's ready mentally.
He wasn't even supposed to play. They said the plan was for him to come back Thursday, but they rushed it. I think that was stupid, but let's keep it moving because we are running out of time here. We got Miami and New England. Miami squeaked out a victory against the Patriots. I believe it was like 15-16, 16-17. So I guess the only people that probably care about that are Dolphins fans.
Let's block Derek right quick. How do we block Derek?
Yeah, Derek's gonna. They're gonna take the loss next week, but I'll save that. Then we have the Rams. Who the Rams played? The Rams played the Bears. It didn't take 2 quarters for those Chicago fans to be cheering for Andy Dalton to get the fuck up out of there. My
MVP candidate,
which is hilarious.
I don't know why. Justin Fields wanted to play no better against that Rams defense.
Hey, Andy's always the scapegoat. But yeah, 34-14.
Doesn't even deserve a job in the NFL. I'm sorry. I don't know how Jason Garrett keeps getting a job.
I don't either. But that's a whole nother conversation. And then the last game, we had Baltimore and Las Vegas. Joe, we all had the Rams winning, so we were all right. Joe and myself had Baltimore winning. Vic had Las Vegas winning.
Come on, give it to me.
It don't even sound right saying Las Vegas, but the Raiders pulled out that victory. I was really hoping that last touchdown was going to be Waller, because if he would have scored a touchdown there, I would have completed the comeback on my fantasy league and would have won that game.
I gave you 80%. You almost did it.
Almost. So, Baltimore didn't look great. I mean, Joe, like you said, 90% of that game, 95% of that game was a stinker anyway. It didn't really get good till towards the end. But can Baltimore take anything away from this game, or is this a really bad loss for them?
I think it's a bad loss. In my opinion, I think that's a team they should go up against and they should walk out with a victory. But this isn't the same Ravens team.
Somebody call Lamar Jackson. Make sure he hasn't committed suicide. Because the looks on his face. He looked sad, man. He looked like he really wanted to cry. And the funny thing is, they lost twice. If you want to say that, because they thought they lost when Duke knee was down at the 1 or the half-yard line. They were celebrating.
No, he didn't get injured, Vic.
They were all celebrating, and then they had to stop and clear it up and run more plays. And Baltimore had a chance. And I told Vic the Raiders will get into the red zone, and what will happen? Carr will throw an interception. And what he did, doink one right off of a Raven head, and it landed right in the Raven hand for interception.
That's not cause for it, man. Come on, man.
Bro, he threw that ball 2,000 miles per hour. Like, why are you throwing the ball that hard? I'm like,
you gotta catch that.
It's called touch.
Feet away from you, dude. Like,
what
right
he
flip the wrist.
2 touchdowns. He did throw for 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he did. All you had to do was flick that shit to me, bro, and I'm catching it. You ain't gotta throw. He threw a Randy Johnson fastball
and killed the pigeon.
Come on, man. I'm right here, bro. You ain't gotta throw it that hard. By the time Duke had his hands up, that shit was through his hands. Like, so he threw that ball a little too hard for him. He threw it too hard. But he threw that interception. Baltimore got it back, and I'm like, that's it. They're gonna go downfield and kick a field goal. And I don't know. I just think Baltimore relies too much on Lamar Jackson's feet, and it kills them. Because as a defense, it's like, yeah, he's hard to catch, but once we catch him, he's vulnerable, and that's and if you don't have nothing else, if you're avoiding everything else, that makes it easy for us. We don't have to chase these guys. We focus on you. We worry about you. And the minute you leave the pocket, we coming. And that's what happened. And then he fumbled, and that was it.
Are they gonna get this man a receiver ever?
I thought they did.
Watkins didn't play bad.
Yeah, but a number one. Are they gonna get him a number one?
Is he capable of throwing to receivers?
I don't think he looked bad last night throwing the football. He had some really good throws.
Close check downs. If he gets a number one receiver and that number one receiver sprints down the field 40, 50 yards, is Lamar Jackson capable of hitting him in stride with a strike? And like, I don't know.
We don't know.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think Sammy Watkins is a bad option.
No.
I don't think
but he's the only option right now.
No, you got
him and Andrews.
Didn't play bad. Mark Andrews had a bad game.
I wouldn't say he's the only option, but a quarterback like Lamar, any and every receiver can be an option, because as a defense, I have to worry about you running. And it makes it hard for us to do both. Remember, my linebackers can't spread out and focus on receivers, because now you have an open field to run. You can run for first downs all day. My secondary I can't spy. I can't blitz my cornerback. I can't have my corners just blitzing all the time. So it makes things difficult for a defense when you have a quarterback like Lamar Jackson. I just feel it's the play calling. The play calling focuses so much
on Lamar,
on him running and him moving. Draw up some plays and focus. When you practice, when you have them practice on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, draw up some plays for him to just pocket pass, for him to just throw the ball 15, 20 yards, see what he got. Because that'll keep the defense honest and have them on their toes. Because now it's like, oh shit, when have we seen Lamar throw 5-6 straight passes?
Dude, I will give Lamar credit. It was a few plays where he could have ran, but he moved around. He tried to wait for a receiver to get open, and Marquise, got open on a few of the plays, and he threw it.
I agree.
So I do give him credit for that.
But again, we have never seen 6 straight passes, 10 straight passes.
Not yet.
11 straight passes. Like, do it. Just do it. Even if you're not completing them, do it, because
build up that confidence.
Right. It builds up confidence and it throws the defense off, because now you don't know when he's gonna run. Every play you set up, you like, he's gonna run it. He's gonna run it. He passes it. So now you do this 10 straight times where he passes it 10 straight times. On the 11th, you're confused as fuck now, because you still think he's going to run it. Even after 10 straight passes, you like, yo, he's going to run it. And now you're confused because now he can hit you with a pass again. You don't know what's going to happen.
Put your tongue back in your mouth.
I just think they should focus more on passing and getting the passing offense, because you're a wide receiver. You're going to get tired of running and this guy's not throwing you the fucking ball. Like, what am I here for?
Maybe that's why they can't get him a receiver.
And I heard that. I heard 2 years ago that was the problem. Receivers didn't want to go there. Like, I'm a top-tier receiver. I don't want to go there and become a run blocker. I don't want to go there and waste my prime years blocking for this guy. Like, no.
That's how you feel about Lamar Jackson?
There was rumors Julio Jones was supposed to go there before ending up in Tennessee.
That would have been a good pickup.
But at the time, they were saying he said he didn't want to block. Like, that's not his job. So
who?
Well, we shall see. It's a long season, so with all of our picks, Joe, you went 6-10. Vic, you went 10-6, and I went 9-7. So week 1 goes to Vic. We will keep track of all of our picks throughout the year, and then Vic is going to keep track of all of your picks throughout the year, and he'll post those. We're gonna get out of here, but I do have one final question.
Who you got for Thursday night's game? Okay.
And we're just gonna go real quick. For each of y'all, which team or player was the biggest surprise for you week 1?
Team or player?
Yeah.
Who do you got? Who you going with? No, nothing. Joe, you take it. We're trying to figure it out over here.
All right. Player, I would go with Kyler Murray. He was my biggest surprise. I expected him to play good, but not that good. He looked, damn near untouchable. If he keeps playing like this, you're gonna have to consider him MVP candidate.
For sure.
It was a close second, but I expected it from Stafford. That's my MVP prediction. So what he did didn't surprise me. Biggest disappointment?
Well, we ain't going there yet. We're not going there yet.
All right, so my biggest surprise as a player is Kyler Murray, and as far as team wise go,
Well, you don't got to pick both. It could be one or the other.
Okay, all right, cool. So Kyler Murray.
Cool. Vic, y'all got an answer?
I'm going Jameis Winston, baby. Let's do it. Let's get these crab legs all year long.
Eat the W's.
Let's get these crab legs.
I said it earlier. I alluded to it earlier. I'm going Bengals. Biggest surprise, Jamar Chase. Hand in hand. There was a lot of talk about Jamar going in, him not being able to catch the ball. I think he proved everybody that he can catch and he can run. So that's my biggest surprise. So I'm going to ask y'all for biggest disappointment, but I'm going to give y'all some options. I'm going to limit y'all. Dalvin Cook, the Bills, the Titans, or the Packers? Who was the biggest disappointment?
I'm going Titans all the way. I'm putting all my chips on the Titans.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree.
I'm going Titans. Like, it's cool to lose, but to lose in that fashion, to not show up at all, that's completely disappointing. I know. That's what I'm telling them. Okay. Completely disappointing.
Yeah, I would agree, but just so we're not all in agreements, I'm going to go with the Packers. I know, a lot of people think highly of the Saints, but they could have very easily came out and laid a dud, with replacing a legend, with, all that's going on in New Orleans. I think, the Packers had an opportunity to come out and really Aaron Rodgers and make a statement, and they didn't. So I'll say the Packers. But ultimately, I agree. It's probably the Titans as well. So that has been episode 26 or 27, my bad. Episode 27 Shoot Your Shot podcast.
Before we go, I just wanted to say Aaron Rodgers has thrown more interceptions than touchdowns 12 times in his career.
12. That's surprising.
12. He has thrown. There has been 5 games where he's thrown interceptions and no touchdowns. And yesterday was the 3rd time in his career that he's thrown 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. And sorry, Vic, but none of those was against the 49ers.
Okay.
So that is surprising. I didn't think that the numbers would be that high for Aaron Rodgers, but that just proves kind of our point. I think he's mentally checked out of Green Bay.
Why are you?
Well, we'll see. Next game. Next game.
Oh, and it was Danny Nichols. That was the nickname, Danny Nichols.
Danny Nichols.
Change it to Danny Pennies.
Oh, babe, shoot.
It's gonna be Danny don't have a job soon. He keep playing like that. But
they ain't getting rid of him. They ain't got no other fucking choice but to keep him.
I might fill the bottle up.
Maybe, but
We
we appreciate everybody that's been in the chats, that's been commenting.
I got one quick take. This could take 30 seconds. We ain't gonna chime on it. Okay. John Wall is to be traded. I'm reading Clippers, Magic, and Bucks.
I don't care where he goes. He's not making any team better.
All right. Good night, everybody. Thank you. This is the Future Shot Podcast.
He's not making any team better.
Baby, you got
if I was Milwaukee, I would stay clear away from that guy.
Yeah.
The Clippers, seeing that Kawhi is out for the season, I would take a chance and roll with him, but I wouldn't put too much faith and trust into it. If he goes to the Lakers, I'm not watching the NBA no more.
Who are they gonna trade? They have no trade value.
Listen, man, I've seen worse things happen in the Lakers. So we said that shit when they only had 3 guys, and now they got a whole roster full of people. So.
Joe, as I always say, for that to happen, LeBron gonna have to change them knee pads.
Oh, trust me, he got built-in retractable knee pads, bro. Them shits change every 24 hours. He wake up with a fresh pair on. just in case. So,
and with that being said, we are getting the fuck out of here because we're gonna get in trouble if we go any further. We will be back on Thursday, 6:00, with week 2 predictions. And we might have somebody on, may or may not. Tune in to find out.
Say bye, baby. Or not.
Bye, baby.
Okay.
Peace.
Peace.
Later, y'all.